Hyundai has announced an entire brand dedicated to electric vehicles and has just soared their stock price here pretty recently.
Yeah, this is a huge news in the electric market as well as the car market. All that in this episode.
So the Hyundai Motor Company, which includes Hyundai and Kia, is now adding a new brand along with Genesis too, as Ioniq, and it's supposed to be their all-electric line, all-electric vehicles that they're bringing to the forefront. I'm kind of a fan of this idea because it's separating out. It's not really a Hyundai because Hyundai's never done a fully electric vehicle before, except for like a past Ioniq, which was just a one-off vehicle. Now they're doing an entire brand, kind of like how they used to have the Hyundai Genesis. Well, now Genesis is its entire own brand. So they're doing kind of a similar move there. But I do like that because it's completely different from all the other vehicles that they're making with Hyundai and even Kia and Genesis. Just having an entire electric brand makes it real easy and simple to understand.
Right, and even building off of what Jacob was saying, they're even putting out what seems to be the 5, 6, and 7 of Ioniq, which is, in this respective order, is a crossover SUV is what is assumed. Is this what we're assuming based on stuff that's been released? So crossover SUV, a sedan, or maybe a coupe, it's hard to tell, and a big monster SUV, probably similar to what you're seeing right now with the Hyundai Palisade or even the Kia Telluride. Something about a 3-row SUV in that market.
Yeah, so like Josh said, in the 5, 6, 7, in that order that he described, we're expecting the 5 around 2021, the Ioniq 6 around 2022, and then the 7 not until 2024. So Hyundai's goal is to establish these and add some more by 2025. And since announcing that, their stock price has increased by roughly 10%, which is a pretty good jump for just announcing something like this. And we've talked about it in previous episodes before. We see the car market going towards an electric, majority, overtaking gasoline and diesel engines. But with something like this, it only makes sense that people are investing their money, they're buying into the stock because that's something that the market wants to see more of.
Right. I mean, and you see as well in these pictures, it's starting to look like Hyundai might actually make a really good-looking electric vehicle. I have been pretty stubborn about the way electric cars have been designed.
Yeah.
I think Tesla was the first step in the right direction. I don't think the Model X is the best-looking electric SUV. There's a lot of hype behind it. It's very powerful. I think the Model S was the first step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I do think if you look even at what they're producing in these pictures, it's like the 5 and the 6. I think even the 6 and what was previously released as the Prophecy, I think was a really good looking car. And if it's produced anything like that, as well as how the Hyundai Sonata has been redesigned, if it's even close to that, I think that is going to be a huge success to the electric car market, as well as if it's somewhat affordable, because right now the most affordable, good-looking electric sedan that you're looking at, or even hatchback, is the Model 3. And even then, most people think, oh, wow, I can get one that's in the 30 grand level. And I'm like, yeah, it's not going to have big range. If you want it to actually be loaded down to where you would be like, oh, I want a Tesla that drives itself, the Tesla, you're going to be spending about a high 50s to low 60s, which then turns into about a BMW price, or even some of these other really expensive Highline cars. So I'm hoping that Hyundai can take a page out of the book of making it affordable from what they're doing currently, but also taking electric cars and making that suitable for anybody as well. That's the big issue is price as well as range. I think that's a big deal.
Price, range. You already said looks earlier. Nobody wants to buy the Nissan Leaf because it looks like it looks gross. But when you can't drive your vehicle very far, your range is like 150 miles. Well, that doesn't do you very well. So when you increase the range, you make it look better, and you find a way to make the vehicle cheaper, which makes the price of the vehicle cheaper. That's what's really going to help take electric vehicles just start soaring. Because right now, like what Josh was saying, if you want one that has more than a 200-mile range, you're going to be paying a premium vehicle price pretty much.
Yes.
So those are the kind of things that Hyundai and other people are juggling with electric vehicles. It's a lot of things to kind of trying to fit into one, but it's only going to take time. And when Hyundai announces something like this and they get a lot of investment money and a lot of people buying into their stock, that only helps them, supply the money to start researching and developing stuff to fit those three categories. So.
Right, and I think to Jacob's point earlier, when they're separating out the Ioniq line separate from Hyundai, I do think this will help them in the long run, because even if it sucks, like if this is a bad step in the business direction, it's easier for them to get rid of that rather than have to deal with the fact that it might put a bad name on the Hyundai line.
Right. It's almost pretty similar to like Toyota having a separate brand for Lexus. It's a luxury car and Toyota is like an everyday person car. They're two different vehicles, two different purposes, so they market two different ways. So when you have regular Hyundai vehicles and then basically electric Hyundai vehicles that are branded as Ioniq, that just makes it easier to do your tier 1 marketing on just the name basis. So to me, that simplifies things as a business, and it'll make things easier for Hyundai for reasons that Josh just mentioned.
Yeah, so if you guys are actually some of these consumers that, well, we don't exactly look at you as the best people, but that are looking to buy an electric vehicle, keep in mind that the prices may be a little more expensive if you're expecting it to have as much range as a carburation vehicle, like anything that has gas, anything like that. I think that's something to keep in mind. I think just be on the lookout, maybe wait a few more years until you really start buying into that, when somebody's really ironed out the details and made something a great product. Because right now, even any mechanic that works on gas-powered vehicles would tell you, don't buy the first line of a lot of things. And it's good advice sometimes, because if it's the first of a powertrain life, there may be some reliability issues because they may not have killed it yet. Like they haven't really made it to where they haven't perfected their craft yet. It's something that they're building on, and it's an excitement to be part of that first generation. But if that's somebody, like if you're an early adopter, I'm not going to slow you down. Like this is definitely an exciting time, because I think Hyundai has been doing well with a lot of their vehicles. I think it's a huge step for them. And I think even with Genesis now exploding, we've talked about it on multiple videos, how Genesis has been doing really well. I think if they do anything of the sort, I think this electric Ioniq brand that they're creating should do just about the same.
Yeah, the Hyundai Motor Company as a whole has been doing some really awesome things with all their brands recently. So being an early adopter, if you buy into these like electric vehicles, you are the guinea pig. So whatever you drive and whatever you report back to Ioniq and Hyundai, like, hey, here's some problems that need to be fixed, they're only going to get better from then on out. So the first generation models or the first year, it'll only get better and better and better, which will definitely be something really exciting to see where Ioniq and Hyundai take this direction.
Right, and if that is one of you guys, let us know in the comment section below, or let us know on social media. We'd love to talk about electric cars. Even though we don't talk well about them, we do like to talk about them because there are some goodies out there.
Yes.
But if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the bell, so you can get alerted whenever we have brand new content out there for you guys.
Yeah, so without further ado, that's Gulf Coast Gearheads signing off.